Hello, everyone. This is Dallas Johnson with the Automobile Dealer Training Association, and I want to talk to you about the bills that were signed and chaptered during the 2019 New Mexico legislative session. New Mexico laws normally go into effect about 90 days after the end of the legislative session, unless another date is specified. The 2018 legislative session convened on January 16th of 2018 and ended on February 15th of 2018. The 2019 New Mexico legislative session convened on January 15th of 2019 and ended at noon on March 15th of 2019. On April 5th of 2019, any legislation that was not signed or vetoed by the governor was what we call pocket vetoed, which meant the bill died. Bills signed by the governor are chaptered into law, and I want to go over some of those with you. Senate Bill 437 raises the state's minimum wage for employees throughout New Mexico. It has specific dates when employers in the state must raise the minimum wage to certain levels. Senate Bill 437 sets the following 5 mandated minimum wage target dates. Prior to January 1st, 2020, all employees must be paid $7.50 an hour. Beginning January 1st of 2020 and prior to January 1st of 2021, at least $9 an hour. Beginning January 1st, 2021 and prior to January 1st, 2022, at least $10 an hour. Beginning January 1st, 2022 and prior to January 1st of 2023, at least $11.50 an hour. On or after January 1st, 2023, at least $12 an hour. Senate Bill 437 includes dealership salespersons and all employees compensated on a commission basis. Senate Bill 107 allows an owner or operator of a vehicle to provide evidence of financial responsibility in print or via accessibility through a portable electronic device. Some third-party motor vehicle lenders may still require proof of financial responsibility, that's proof of insurance, to be provided via paper. So be sure to check with your third-party lender to ensure that electronic proof of insurance is still going to be sufficient when you're writing loans through a third-party lender. Senate Bill 162 requires each type of business to submit an additional statement as part of articles of dissolution confirming that it has resigned its registered agent or that it is not a registered agent of another entity. The bill also updates the filing office as the Secretary of State. So according to the New Mexico Secretary of State's office, when an entity is dissolved and it is the registered agent of another business entity, their dissolution basically leaves the remaining registered business without a valid registered agent, which would basically affect the status of good standing. So please keep that in mind. If you ever do dissolve your corporation, you must dissolve your registered agent as well. Senate Bill 227 amends the New Mexico Human Rights Act to remove the limitation of 15 or more employees an employee must have to include sexual orientation and gender identity as basis for unlawful discrimination practices. In the past, this requirement applied to businesses that had 15 or more employees, but now it applies to all New Mexico employers. The Unfair Practices Act currently lists 18 categories of unfair trade practices, which would be added to the 19th. So the 19th will say differential pricing based on a buyer's gender or identity. Senate Bill 25 creates a 19th category in the Unfair Practices Act and adds the following language: offering or providing unposted or unadvertised pricing or service based on the buyer's gender or perceived gender identity, provided, however, that this provision does not apply to persons regulated by the Office of the Superintendent of Insurance pursuant to New Mexico's insurance code. So we're definitely going to need to be aware of that. As you see on the screen there, Senate Bill 96 adds a new section to the Criminal Offender Employment Act concerning private employers, then it parallels present restrictions in hiring for government employees. The bill bans private employers from asking about an applicant's history or arrest or conviction on the employment application. So make sure that you update your applications to reflect this new law change. House Bill 256 amends the D. Johnson Clean Indoor Act to include e-cigarettes and their vapors from being used and inhaled in the spaces in which tobacco and similar products are also prohibited. Now, one thing I would definitely want to go over with you here, House Bill 6 was signed by the governor of New Mexico on April 4th, 2019, and made several changes to New Mexico's tax code. So if your dealership is incorporated in another state, you will still pay New Mexico's corporation income tax based on your entire corporate income, even income based outside New Mexico, regardless of where your dealership is headquartered. House Bill 6 made several changes to New Mexico's gross receipts tax and created a municipal and county-based compensation tax in addition to the state's compensation tax. The bill adopted a system of taxation called a compensation tax that will apply to motor vehicles and any services provided to customers used in that local jurisdiction. House Bill 6 effectively changes the state's tax code from where the place where the business was transacted to the place where the product will be used. It also alters taxation for products that were developed outside the state of New Mexico but are intended to be used in the state of New Mexico. House Bill 6 raised the tax on the purchase of motor vehicles from 3% to 4%. And this new rate will automatically be configured on the effective date when you are filing your CRS forms. And last but not least, Senate Bill 248. Senate Bill 248 amends a section of the Motor Vehicle Code to modify annual continuing education requirements for non-franchised car dealer, auto recyclers, and title company licenses. That requirement is now increased from the current level of 4 hours every 2 years to 4 hours every year. So you will be required now to take your continuing education every single year. The bill also removes the of good character requirement to be licensed to conduct business as an auto dealer, auto recycler, or title company license. All non-franchise car dealer, auto recyclers, and title company licensees are now required to complete 4 hours of continuing education every year. So give us a call if we can help you, 800-369-2467. Thanks very much, and good luck with the operation of your New Mexico dealership.